Hello, you lovely Hammers fans. It's Nick from Claret and Booze back again after a marathon Sunday night show. What a fun show that was. That was a real kind of old school show, you know, full of laughs, brilliant in the chat. The chat was bang on form, brilliant callers, some funny callers there was. Larry the Lube. It was really good. Yeah, and we showed that, you know, you can come together in times of struggle when things are down, which is kind of, you know, the East End way, I think. And we're all banding together and we're going to pull our club through this. You know, there's the petition now is at 11,000. The numbers are flying up. It's unbelievable. And I've got a little message for people. Not an I told you so. It's some information for those that don't think there's any point in signing a petition. And also to those hosts of YouTube channels and podcasts as well that think the same. So hopefully it might force them to have a bit of a change of heart, because the information that I'm about to give you in a little bit, it should do, because this petition is not fruitless. And I only found this out this morning thanks to a bit of information sent through to me by Canning Town Len. Does anyone else need a wee, or is it just me? It's the noise at the end of that new intro, the swish new intro that we've done, which is to symbolise West Ham coming back to life, rising from the ashes. And I think that's exactly where we are at the moment. I do feel empowered. I woke up this morning feeling proud to be a West Ham fan, to see all the fans coming together. I mentioned late into the show last night that I know there's some back and forth going on between you. Well, I say back and forth. People have been trying to share things on channels. They've been blocked and stuff like that. I'm not going to go down the route of naming and shaming anyone. I'm not going to, because the whole reason of this petition, the reason that we started it frustrates me. But the whole reason that we started this was to unite the fan base, or try to. That's why we did the 24-hour live show, and we invited every YouTube channel to come on and get involved in it, and, you know, take it away and run it as their own, because it's a West Ham petition. So I'm not going to use this or any frustrations that I've got to drive any further divides. If these people have got a problem, if their egos are getting in the way, I don't know what it is, or there's other reasons, I don't know. That's fine. But hopefully, once they've learned the information that I did this morning, they will have a change of heart, because there's going to be no reason whatsoever at this point to not push this petition wholeheartedly if you truly want this balled out. Okay. Right, as always, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Welcome to all the new subscribers. There's loads of you. Loads of you this weekend. Welcome aboard. And don't forget, drop a like on the video. Also, before I go as well, before I'll get going, the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company, you will see that they are now in our intro video. They've been with us now for 2 years. If you want to support us as a platform, go and support them. Go in there, use our discount code Claret15 and place an order. Go and grab some tea, some coffee, some hot chocolate, some accessories. The guy that runs it is brilliant. He's a West Ham fan. And what I love about them most is that I don't have to do this all the time. I haven't done. They've been with us for 2 years. He never ever pulls me up and wants me to bore you all with this type of thing. So yeah, just keep them in mind. And like I said, go and support them. They're a local business. Yeah, we're all West Ham. Okay. I'm not going to get into transfer news because I just don't care. I know there's stories about players going out. I know going out for next to nothing by the sound of it, and it sickens me, especially when you look at the loan fee that we got for Alvarez, which is about 2 million. I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to get into it. There's no point. You know, the Paqueta rumour going to Spurs, and Aston Villa are apparently interested. You know he's going to go, don't you? You know Sullivan's going to sanction that later on in this window. It will happen. But I think what we are doing now this is bigger than that. This really is. This isn't about short-term fixes, little dopamine hits, going out there, getting a shiny new player to make us all feel better. Because we'll still be shit. We will. Nothing's going to be fixed by us signing a player or two. We've just got to keep our eyes on the prize, which is getting these people out. Now, when I started this petition, as I said, it was for the fan base to come together as a show of unity, a show of strength, to show that we're not divided, getting us all back together again. And then, if we got enough traction, we could move on to another stage. Thankfully, Hammers United have picked up on that, and I believe they've got clearance for the first protest from the police, which is going to be after, well, the Palace game. They'll release details. I've also given them full access to this to this channel as well to use as they wish to promote it and stuff like that. And I will be there. I'll be at the protests. I will not be going into home games anymore this season until these people are gone. But yeah, so this is brilliant. That's stage 2, and that's nothing to do with Claret and Booze. We will support it, but that's their expertise. So this is fantastic. Like I said, we're going to hit them from all angles. But going back to this petition, it was all to show a sign of, to start a movement, you know, to start a revolution, as Jeff Turner coined the phrase in his little video that he did for us. Brilliant that was, Jeff. Thanks very much, mate. Because it is. That's what it feels like at the moment, you know. We're literally, we're kind of we're bang on the floor at the moment. It's miserable to be a West Ham fan at the minute. But I'll tell you what, go and watch that show last night. West Ham fans together, we're not miserable. You know, we pull through hard times. But the reason I'm making this video, let me get into it because I'm waffling, is in relation to people saying, YouTube hosts and podcast hosts and other people in the chat saying petitions ain't going to do anything. Well, it looks like the petition could do an awful lot more than what you think. So, the Football Governance Act 2025, it received its royal assent on the 21st of July 2025, officially becoming law. The independent football regulator, the IFR, established by the Act, will oversee clubs in the top 5 tiers of English men's football, including the Premier League. The IFR is expected to begin work later in 2025, so we are bang ahead of the curve on this. With a transition team, the shadow football regulator, already engaging with industry and fan groups to prepare for implementation. However, a precise start date for the IFR's full operation regime, including detailed rules and licensing for clubs, has not been confirmed as yet. It does depend on the regulator's consultation process and the development of specific guidance. Experts do suggest that most provisions are likely to take effect in late 2025 and early 2026. Not long to wait, people. I mean, well, look, we're getting on to we're banging to 2025. I asked it a question because I've got the official document, but I didn't want to bore you with reading through that because it's quite a hefty document. So I spat it into Grok, basically Elon Musk, and I've asked it a question. I've said, will clubs that are being run poorly with hugely disgruntled fan bases that have official petitions with tens of thousands of signatures against the owners of the club and protests going on and stuff like that, force the regulators to intervene and investigate the owners? And do they have the power to remove owners and directors of football clubs if they fail fit and proper tests? Right, it comes back and he says, right, the independent football regulator is endowed with substantial authority to scrutinise and rectify instances of substandard club management, especially where fan dissatisfaction is pronounced. Now, while the Act does not compel the IFR to intervene automatically in response to fan petitions and protests, such expressions of discontent, including official petitions garnering tens of thousands of signatures, can indeed prompt regulatory action. The IFR possesses broad investigatory powers under Part 7 of the Act, enabling it to examine relevant infringements upon receipt of complaints or evidence, which may encompass failures in fan engagement, financial imprudence, or governance lapses that undermine a club's sustainability. Persistent fan grievances could serve as evidentiary grounds for initiating an investigation into owners' protests. Particularly if they indicate non-compliance with the Act's fan engagement threshold requirements, which they don't talk to us. Clubs must, as a condition of licensing, consult supporters on matters such as strategic priorities, matchday operations, including ticket pricing, and heritage preservation. Taking their views into account, thus, while petitions do not force intervention in a mandatory sense, they can be the catalyst of scrutiny by highlighting potential breaches, with the IFR empowered to demand information, conduct probes, and impose remedies. And it says, regarding the IFR's capacity, this is the fun bit. Regarding the IFR's capacity to remove owners and directors who fail fit and proper assessments, affirmatively, the regulator holds explicit powers to do so. The Act introduces an enhanced owners and directors test under Part 4, evaluating criteria such as honesty, fail, integrity, fail, financial soundness, failed, and competence, failed on all four. For both prospective and incumbent individuals. Should an owner of a director fall short, the IFR may issue disqualification orders, direct their removal from positions, or in egregious circumstances, mandate the compulsory sale of the club to safeguard its long-term viability. These enforcement mechanisms extend to interim directives to avert further harm, ensuring that poorly managed clubs with disgruntled fan bases are not left unchecked. There you go. There you go. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Because there's a big thing there on fan engagement. So the club have really ramped up because they would have had, early insight into what the measures were going to be and what they were going to be measured against. And they've made a bit of an effort in the last year, with the concessions, which they implemented and then they later removed after fan engagement, and fan feedback. Does set alarm bells ringing a little bit with the way that they're doing this. But the fact of the matter is, David Sullivan, if we trigger an investigation, will he pass a fit and proper test? Because incumbent owners now, it's not just going to be for new owners of football clubs. It's going to be for existing owners, for incumbent owners. We're going to get him out. We're going to get him out. So this petition that we're signing here, the bigger it gets, the better. It will get picked up by mainstream media. It will be spoken about. And we're gaining traction. We're gaining traction. And the protests that are being sorted out as well. And I'm sure this will grow to stuff that happens inside stadiums with chants, flags, banners, balloons, T-shirts. There's all sorts of stuff that can be done to ramp this up. But, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And we're ahead of the curve. So by the time the IFR are up to speed, we should be able to slap a 50,000 strong petition straight in their face. There should be an established ongoing protest going on against the owners and lots of stuff that's being exposed on in the mainstream media because you can't ignore it. Every game's televised. So there you go. There is light at the end of this tunnel. We're going to get our West Ham back. We really are. I can feel there is something changing. So going back to my earlier point, there is now no longer any reason that anyone should be against pushing that petition. And I don't mean going, oh, yeah, the petition's there, sign it if you want to, but, it ain't going to do anything because it actually could do something now. It's factual. It is actually factual. So, yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, I'm not going to use this, as I explained on the show last night, to expose people that are removing comments and removing URLs. I'm not doing that. The whole idea of this movement is to unite the West Ham fans. So I'm not gonna fall out with people over this. I'm gonna keep on banging that drum. I'm gonna keep on asking and asking and asking. I don't care. And if you don't want to jump on board, you don't want to jump on board. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. But we're gaining traction now. We really are. This is picking up ahead of steam. We're going to get these people out. We're going to get them out. We are. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of your Bank Holiday Monday. I'm going to go. I'm going to enjoy a nice evening with the family. And I shall speak to you all soon. Come on, you irons.